Hey everybody, Rodman here. Thanks for tuning in to the Philosopher King, a RimWorld royalty series about being a benevolent ruler. So here we go, a little recap of the rules and goals we have for our society and the projects that I am currently working on that you all had a chance to vote on. I'm really lagging behind here, and I think I'm going to push hell or high water into these goals this episode. So just a quick little recap of last. What we've got here is a caravan coming back with a lung for 0. That will be very, very handy. Okay, so the redesign the base as a castle must commence. So the first thing I want to do is get an idea of Bubblu's ideal throne room. So what I'm going to do is go into Bubbloo, go into settings, bio. We're certainly going to get up to count, and probably very soon. So it needs to be a grand throne room of at least 80 tiles, right? So let's get an 8x10 or so. So I'm going to draw a line down a center line, if you will. Now, of course, we have to avoid the fertile soil. And I'm going to make the throne room maybe 6x13, something like that. Something around the... Oh, that's actually too shy of the requirement. But what I'll probably do is have it be not just a square. Oh, well, that's not the center line. I gotta draw it to the center line. Oh, no, it is. Okay. Yep, alright. That's the center line. 2 in. 5. And then this is, what, 3 across? Okay, that will be perfect. So that would be my throne room. Or the flooring for my throne room. So the next thing I'm gonna do is... Let's see, what... stones. We have plenty of marble stones, so I'm going to do a fine marble stoning. And yeah, as you can see, I'm going to be ripping up a considerable amount of the old base. The old base is going to have to move. It's going to have to change to suit my needs. Most of my storage and stockroom, all that stuff, is going to get tore right on up. Actually, I don't really want that light there, because it will block movement. Just stick it right back there. Alright, so that will be the bedroom that we'll be working with. Talon, you do have a little bit of construction. I'll just keep letting you do some art. So that's our throne room. I actually might bring it in a little bit. Just to allow for the walls not to hit. I like to leave at least a 2 wide. And that means we're going to have to add to plump this up elsewhere. So maybe I'll plump it up like that. I also, it doesn't hurt to get away from the traditional square of everything. Right? So that's always a benefit. So shaved off 5, I added 4. This is easily going to hit the 80 requirement once these walls are ripped up. So perfect. That will be our throne room. And that leaves a nice path around our farm here, as you can see. Alright, Zero, you are working on, I think, advanced components. Yep. You are indeed working on advanced components. We'll get that queued up. What else is everybody working on? Let me speed the time up just a little bit. Now we have tons and tons of wood, and the caravan has returned back home. Perfect. So, as mentioned, this will become the throne room. Let's see. Let's cut the backup batteries. I am going to stick these batteries in here. Eventually, I'll probably have a proper battery room, but for now, I'm just trying to move things away from my construction area. Also build a roof over this path because it's illuminated. And stick some lights out there just so that we improve the speed at which we construct. I do believe the lung is home. So 0. We are going to install the right lung. And then I have a gastroanalyzer. I'm going to install it in Arvanath and the coagulator in Talon. All right. So, doctoring, Bubbaloo. You'll operate. Let's get Arvanath no longer to be a doctor. Oh, we are doing the other one first. 0. What is Mathis doing to you? Alright, hold on 1 second. Corn should be allowed in here now. Just because we have cut down our animal butchering and made a lot of space. Alright, Arvanath, you now have the gastroanalyzer that will allow you to cook a little bit faster, and that means that you are now cooking over Shay, and Shay will start to help out with the craft and the smithing. Only a backup cook. Bubbaloo, let's just keep operating. There we are. Got that lung in. And then the coagulator. The coagulator in Talon. I guess we could wait on that. And that's just so that if he suffers a lot of little wounds, he doesn't bleed out. Okay, he's already up. Get Talon over there. And Mathis, I'm going to wake you up instead. Oh, you're not assigned to doctor. Yeah, I'm going to wake you up instead and have you install that. So I won't have any parts sitting around the base. Alright, I would say I probably do not need the lumber right now anymore. We have a ton of it. So I did, in fact, queue up way more than I needed. Let's get that removed. Power. We actually want that orbital trade beacon powered on, so let me pull the cables north. Okay, 0 is capable of walking, and for the first time in a long time, you're actually back to being whole or close to whole. Alright, the weapons I have are all assault rifle-esque. That's good. So tiling this up is going to take considerable effort. Poppy, would you be so kind as to move the batteries? Swell. Thank you, Poppy. All right, the stonecutter table, for now, I think I'm just going to leave out here. Even though it has an outdoor penalty, I just need stuff out of the way. If I crowd my workspace, it's going to be really, really hard to redesign everything. One thing that will have to happen is this fabrication bench is going to have to break down, meaning that I'm really going to want a nice, healthy stockpile of components for rebuilding it. Also, it appears as if my Devil Strand supply has run up a little bit. So as you can see, the tailoring queue is no longer being respected, or whatever you want to call it. Alright. Well, no one is currently idle, which is good. Chris, what are you researching again? Pulse charge munitions? Good. Now, the next stage is going to be stronger, more protective helmets, I think. That is what I probably next want. Faustopia. Where did my shells go? There's my shell bench. Ah. Let's move shells where they aren't going to get me killed. And yes, chem fuel next to these shells is a wee bit of a dangerous thing, but that's alright. So this is going to be the new throne room. It's nice and center. Next up is going to be storage areas coming off of here. So what I'll probably do, 8 out, 11. I want to leave the mortar batteries in. All right, there we go. I know I did just nuke a, I just nuked a stockpile. That's all right. Stone and steel. Yep. Let's get rid of mix and slag. And the idea is to set up the new area so that it can take over for the old one and smoothly. Inspiration for recruiting. That's very nice. Actually, I don't want that out that far. Leave it a little bit more space. So this is 7 out from the wall. Perfect. Alright, one other thing I'm going to want is orbital trade storages, probably in this area here. It won't be perfectly symmetrical, but most castles weren't anyway. Animals. Yep, they're all set to properly haul. That's very good. Alright, so we'll just continue on this task here. What I think I'm going to do is, what is this? Temp shells. Put over there. I'm just sort of moving around everything so that I can work in the area while renovating. Now we got a little bit of a heat wave coming. Alright, Yanshui, I don't know what you're working on, but you're moving these. Alright, I'm gonna span this out to allow for a lot more room of blocks and stuff. Alright, so the idea here will be this will be a wall. Yep. Before we even make this wall... Let's see. Haul. Let's haul this stuff away. Sorry, Philosopher, for making you do it. Remove the floor underneath. Alright, well this is illuminated, so it wouldn't hurt to roof it up. Just so that we stay dry while working. Another thing, my chunk zone, getting kind of chunky. We'll obviously have to cut through a lot of this and haul it away. So right now I'm just making room so that I can walk the perimeter of the base without tripping on some chunks. And so far I've not had to deal with a lot of existential threats, which is really nice. So incompetent cook, do we have? Well, Airvanath, please don't food poison us. I'm gonna set up a animal pack of survival meal queue. That way we have some travel meals to work with. Alright, I'm gonna force them to work on this area first. Just so that I can make a little bit more progress in the throne room. I'd really cannot stress this enough, want to get the throne room moved. Oh, what was this? So that I can move the old throne room and turn that into the barracks it's supposed to be. Okay, so we'll get the wall up. And then after the wall is up, I get to break down this old wall. Okay, yeah, we're getting a whole lot of food poisoning. Everyone gets food poisoning. Pulse charge munitions just got done. Transport pods is probably a much needed tech that I've been overlooking for a while. That will help out with trades immensely. As far as power goes, obviously I'm not going to want a power cable in the middle of the room. That's horrible to look at. This heat wave is not so bad. Shay has an inspiration. And Shay crafts, Shay smiths. So, the question then becomes, what shall Shay make? I'm thinking that I'll probably make a charge rifle. Just to up my close quarter damage a little higher. Alright. Just making sure we're keeping things illuminated. Alright, Faustopia, I'm going to have you work on the fine tile. Because as I mentioned, I really want to get done with the new throne room soon. So I'm going to forbid everything else that's in progress and focus on here. Quest failed. Sure did. Sorry, dweeb. Nothing personal. So unfortunately, I think we are suffering from a heck of a lot of food poisoning. Maybe due to Airvanath's bad cooking? I'm starting to think. It kind of sucks, because it is slowing down progress immensely. We're sick and vomiting everywhere. But the charge rifle is just about done. And I just scanned some silver. The silver's actually really close to the base. Call it silver 1. And just sloppily designate it. Alright, so the charge rifle is just a good... Oh, an excellent rifle. That's pretty good. Guess what? You get to use it yourself. Alright, Zero, I am going to have you help construct. So I'd like something where the inner part of the castle is fairly symmetrical. Even when considering that, of course, with all the fertile soil, it's going to be asymmetrical, so I want some symmetry even if it's hard to achieve and attain. I suppose is what I'm trying to say. That's my goal. Oh boy, everybody getting sick. I probably should have just fully thrown out the meals, because it is it's bad when everyone gets sick. Well, it looks like a lot of the people who are sick are now back together. If you take a look at Zero, for instance, your construction success chance and speed are quite high. All you need isn't like a bionic arm, and you'd be even more ridiculous. Scan some underground steel. Okay, so I am out of marble, it seems. That's fine. I'm going to make marble blocks and drop them on the floor. That's probably why people are... They're not idle yet, but they aren't really working on the construction projects right now. And we got a manhunter pack of elephants. Alright, I don't really want to have to deal with the elephants right now. So what I'm going to do is restrict everybody to home. And just go ahead and close my front door. That's a lot of elephants. And, it's going to be easier just to button up. Let's do a full roll call. Just make sure nobody's outside the walls right now. Okay, we don't have anyone outside the walls. Because it would be upsetting to lock them out and have them get stampeded. These elephants will eventually leave. Not hugely happy to having to listen to them, whatever elephant noises you call. And then we have a little second soothe. Fantastic. Actually, you know what we could do is remove the floors over here, because that will help reclaim some marble as well, if we are needing marble for construction. Talon's little art project is keeps going. Oh, another thing I wanted to do. I apologize for whomever mentioned this, but ooh, some jade. But the benefit that the dresser offers, especially when you have a small bedroom, it doesn't make the bed more comfortable. So it's better to just have statues inside the bedroom instead. And as a result, we'll be able to reclaim that jade too. So, because if you look at an excellent bed, its comfort here is over 100%. You only really benefit up to 100%. So there's really no point having the end table and the dresser. And all the dresser serves to do is to take up physical space, making the space rather tight. So, what I'm getting at is it is better to just put in statues or something that will allow you to appreciate the space more and focus less on comfort. All right, so transport pods just got done. Let's see. Circadian influence is going to help us be more productive. I don't know if that was my top choice, but let's allow it. And then what I'm going to do is we are going to install or reinstall the Grand Throne. And let's go ahead and move all of the things that make the throne room a throne room over. And as a result, we'll be able to reclaim a whole heck of a lot of marble as well, and cloth too. Given that I'm updating the zones here, animal hauling doesn't really need to include this anymore. Now I might need to move, yeah, I'm going to need to move these drapes. Obviously this is not the center. It would be here. I'm going to have two doors. No, I'm going to have one door. I'm going to have one door. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it be a plasteel auto door. So that it is really, really, really hard for invaders to come into. Basically a way for us to protect ourselves. It would be a good panic room. It's at the moment undignified, but that will change. It's easy to forget that there's, you know, literally a few dozen man-hungry elephants right outside that would very much like to eat us. So one of the advantages, as of about 6 days ago, last week, plasteel is now not flammable. It had been flammable up until, last week. Now it does not burn, which means previously uranium doors was the bee's knees, because uranium doors were non-flammable, and plasteel doors still had flammability. But now plasteel doors do not have flammability, which is fantastic. Okay, so needs throne room. I wouldn't worry about that. We got you. Okay, so it's undignified because there's no harpsichord in it. That's fine. Let's move this harpsichord over. Soon you're going to want a piano, I suspect. And let's go uninstall this. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is remove the flooring, all of this cloth flooring from here, and finish off the Barracks project, which is quite long overdue. So this hits the impressiveness, and let's give a speech from the throne. No, it was canceled. Because the elephants are here, and it thinks I'm in combat, which I am not. That's fine. Alright, next thing is the wings. And then these walls are going to be actually pushed out like that. And then I'm going to want probably granite doors. Maybe one right there. That are going to be held open. Alright, let's not worry about... actually, you know what we could do? Poppy and or Shay. You're going to help to smith this stuff, freeing up Zero to construct. Because Zero is a lot better of a constructor than they are constructors. Another thing I'd like to do is, I will probably analyze the desire path that people want to take before, before putting in doors. I don't exactly know how people are going to want to traverse the base here, so I'm going to wait. Alright, perfect. So these side rooms are going to be sort of crafting rooms of sorts. Okay, that all gets set up. Now, just a little reminder, you all voted that I would be able to redesign the Royal Guest Room, this Ancient Danger, and I'm going to do it significantly. I'm going to leave the Royal Guest Room roughly where it used to be, but it's going to totally be redesigned. I ain't got time for nonsense designs. Okay, we are building up a real ton of... furniture and the like. I think the smelter I might leave. Now, as I said, I'm going to need to move the fabricator, the fab bench. because its final living space spots won't be there. Putting tool benches in the center of the room. And probably dead power as well. Now that I'm reclaiming a whole bunch of cloth from the stripping up the floor projects, one thing I'd be able to do is make a lot of cloth armchairs. And the cloth armchairs could be used to have a lot more comfortable clothing. Or clothing. A lot more comfortable seating. Alright, we do have Mech hive coming in. That's not something we could ignore like these elephants. So taking a look at the elephants, not a single one are still manhunted. So the Mech hive is landing on top of me? Oh no, they're being scattered all over. Okay, so animals. To the barn. Everybody else, look alive. We're going to rally to our kill box. Our temporary kill box. I'll keep calling it a temporary kill box until you all believe me that it is indeed temporary. I do really intend for it to be. Who's not a very accurate shooter here? Shay? Oh, but you made your own gun. Chris, Poppy. Okay, Poppy. Grab the EMP launcher. Alright, so they scattered all over. I gotta figure out if any of them are inside my base. Yes, one is. This one. Any others? So we've got 2 in the southeast, 1 east, 1 northeast, 2 northeast, 1 north. Yeah, they are scattered all the heck over. So the first thing I want to do, Erwinath, I need you to pop that door open. Everybody else get set up for this Lancer. Oh boy, holding my breath. I really hate when Lancers get free shots on me, because it could very quickly be lights out. Okay, I've been lucky so far. I'm not letting this Lancer get another free shot. Cool. Alright, Poppy. You stand here. Erwinath, you are... quit trying to eat. Kind of pissing me off. Get out of there. Alright, Chris. Yanshui. Zero. Turrets on. Talon. Bubbaloo. Mathis. Shay. I don't know why they're punching. There's a valid path to me. Oh, Faustopia. Oof. You are stuck in there, aren't you? My bad. Hey, Scythers. Don't bash my walls. So let's take a quick look at the enemy. No centipedes that I could see as quick glance. Alright, Faust. Oh, almost got it. Now the idea is have Talon front and center, offering himself up as a target to fire at or attack or whatever. Bubbaloo, you have an undignified bedroom? Oh, because it doesn't have... Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have taken out your dresser. You are a little fussier than the most. That's okay. Alright, so they are bashing just arbitrary spots. Next one is going to be a Scyther. I'm going to turn off this turret and aim to repair it and have Talon run interference. Alright, for enemies, it looks like one Scyther and a bunch of pikemen and a lancer. Because, because my front door wasn't open at the time when they were slated to attack me, that's why they are punching up my walls. Because there wasn't, at one point in time, a valid path for them to come in. Which is why it's important to have valid paths. Okay, looks like you're getting shot at. Nope, it was actually the turret. Nope, it wasn't the turret, you just got shot in the head. So, a Lancer, and a Scyther and 2 pikemen. Seems to be the remaining enemy. And the Scyther's coming in, and then I'll probably just go hunt the pikemen. With Talon, Shay, and Bubbaloo. Oh, actually, Shay, you are kind of shot in the head. Mathis. Yeah, exactly. Go tend to her. Ow. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go get a pikeman. Everybody else can be conscripted, lifted. Pikemen are not very tough. Let Talon go first. And as far as I know, this is the last one. Don't believe there's any others. So they did break some walls and some stuff like that, but nothing too serious. Alright, good. That's the last of that. Talon and Shay took a little hits. Restrictions going to be lifted. Animals, you are going to be allowed to haul yet again. And Talon, because he was ravenously hungry, is hiding in his room. Yeah, that's my fault. I pushed them a little too much, a little too long. Oh, yeah, that AC should not be drying off battery power. My bad. Alright. You are, quote-unquote, hiding in your room. It doesn't look like that is what is happening, but sure. Alright, hopefully I can avoid some upset pawns making some chairs for the crafting benches. I am, however, just about out of time. So this is where I'm going to end it. This is, of course, a renovation in progress. I'm kind of a long way away from it being castle-like, but I'm happy with the way it's coming. This episode, because I didn't have a crazy amount of enemies coming in on me, I was able to make some decent progress. Also, yeah, but it was a bit of a vomit fest. If you have any tips, tricks, feedback for me, do drop me a line in the comments below. I'd really appreciate to hear what you all think I should be working on. The next time we have a vote for goals might be at the end of this week. It depends on how much I get done of my other goals that you voted in the past. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you all next episode. Adios.